jewelry brands, if your advertisement looks like this, it actually should look like this. Simplicity when it comes to advertising will lead to higher ROAS, higher click-through rate, lower CAC, and higher AOV, which is all we are looking for. We need to get more customers and we need to make more per customer. And I have seen that when you pair consistency with longevity, then it starts becoming familiar, which is the point we want to get to. The minute your brand starts becoming familiar, click-through rate will go up, AOV will go up, and CAC will go down. So what bad advertising looks like is new offers on same campaigns, because you will have different formats, different angles, different concepts on one campaign. Let's say one ad set, right? And you'll have all of these different ads, but you will have different offers in each of them, which means if one of them does well, we have no idea if it is the creative or the offer. We have no idea. There's no idea of no one. So what I like to do, especially working for mid-sized jewelry brands, is just have one offer. That's honestly the truth. And I know that there's a lot of split testing offers, and I'm sure that the marketers who split test offers do insanely well. And also they are working for much bigger jewelry brands or brands in general. However, I've just found that having one offer really sets your mind in simplicity, because you're able to just test what matters, which is the creative. And yes, of course, the offer matters. However, if it is just a good offer, it speaks to a desire, it speaks to a specific avatar, it has times or numbers on it, right? A specific discount or a specific limit to the offer, then it will be a good offer if it is simple. So you can have one of those very simple, clear offers, but really, really good creatives, and it will be fine. You don't need to have insane, like, oh my God, I have to split test 400 offers to be able to find the greatest one. It's like, there is a formula for offers. There is a specific formula for offers. There are specific components, and if you can grab some of those components of an offer and make one offer, and then you can test differently in creatives, which is the actual thing that we want to test. The creatives is what we want to test, especially on Facebook. So new offer, same campaign. This is classic distorted, chaotic marketing. Different campaign structures. In one campaign, you will have an ABO, and in another campaign, you will have a CBO. Like, you need to have a very, very congruent, simple, and repeatable campaign structure so that you can keep track on what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, if you are a jewelry brand that's making more than $100,000 in revenue per month, then you're going to have a lot of campaigns. Generally, you're going to have a lot of campaigns. And the thing is that if you're differentiating between ABO and CBO, then it's going to be extremely complicated to organize what works and what doesn't work. It's extremely complicated. On the other hand, simplicity. What does simplicity look like? One offer, fine. One format, one campaign, one campaign structure, right? This is it. Now, where this gets complicated, which is not complicated, is the testing of the creatives, which it doesn't get complicated. It just, you have to vary it because you have to test what works and what doesn't. So this is different. This is another thing. This is another thing. This is another complete other thing, right? Here is the testing in the creative, not here. All right. In the campaign structure, always go to a CBO. Now, you can go to an ABO if you're a control freak. I was a control freak, but I just saw that CBOs just distribute money way better than I can. That's it. All right. So please just test one offer, make it good. All right. There are components of an offer. There are a gajillion books for that. And I talk about this in my videos as well. So you can check those out. Super, super simple. One format, which, I mean, don't try to make reels and videos and carousels and static ads. If you're even at 100,000 per month, you probably just want to exhaust one format, which is just image ads or static ads. Now, if you're running real ads, then obviously exhaust real ads. However, I just found it way easier to delete everything, like literally grab and delete everything in that campaign when I go into these jewelry brands and just set up a bunch of static ads and start testing. I can do it fast. They are very good. They convert very well. They have a very high click-through rate, and you can just make many of them and test what works and then delete the losers very, very quickly. And that's just what I've seen. Just simplicity. There's a fallacy with a lot of jewelry brands, not all of you, but with a lot of you, which is I need different ways to get customers. And I think this is a fallacy. I think you just need more of what you're doing instead of different ways of getting customers. Right? So let me draw this in a better way. So let's say you have like these roads, right? Perhaps you don't need like gajillion roads to get customers. This is customers. It's the same thing, right? Maybe you don't need a gajillion different roads to get customers. Maybe you want one huge road, right, to get all the customers, right? This is just the way I think. It's super simple. That's why I don't really have a lot of trouble when I go into ad accounts of different jewelry brands. Is that I see what they're doing, great. I see what they're doing on Instagram, great. I grab the ones that are working on Instagram and I either run them as ads or I just make a bunch of different static ads with that same concept and then I run them. And then I do nothing else. And I separate it between top of funnel, tofu, all right, and bofu, bottom of funnel. I don't even do middle of funnel. Super simple. Boom. That's it. Right? And that's it. And I just pour 50 ads in there. And they're already really, really good ads because I'm copying what works already, right? Like, I'm copying what works. I'm copying it. I don't care. I'm copying it, right? Because if like you can say, oh, a lot of marketers say don't copy things. And obviously you don't have to like word for word copy things. So that's dumb, right? But copy the concepts, right? It makes a lot of money when you copy concepts that are making a lot of money. So make a lot of money. At least that's what I do, right? Now, obviously there are brand guidelines for each brand. However, you can still follow the same exact same simplicity method with your brand guidelines, whatever your brand guidelines are. All right. So simplicity to getting customers is what I have found gets more customers faster, gets a higher AOV always, has a higher click-through rate always, 100% of always, or well, 99% of always, all right, of the time. And it has just in general lower CAC because you're able to do a lot more. And when you do a lot more, you get really, really good at advertising that one offer, right? And when you get really, really good at advertising that one offer, it becomes easier to get customers because customers obviously will respond to something that's good. And if you have a complicated or 10 complicated ways of getting customers, you have Google, or you have Google search ads, you have Facebook ads, you have Instagram ads, you have Messenger ads, then you have landing page conversions, then you have DMs, then you have a bunch of different ways, and you have emails. Oh my God, we have to get customers through emails. Like I would highly suggest you just stick to email if you're already doing email, right? But the thing about email is that you have to get people into the email list or you have to buy emails, which in some cases is illegal, right? So you either have to build that email list up with ads, right? With Facebook ads. So I would highly just suggest go all in on Facebook ads. I've seen that worked time and time again. And the times that I've seen jewelry brand owners scoff at Facebook ads, it's understandable. Believe me, it's understandable. But they do it for two reasons. I have seen at least. Reason number one, they actually don't know how to run Facebook ads. They literally don't know what to click, or they don't know how to hire an agency, which is, another topic by itself. But if you don't know how to run ads, that's obviously understandable why you won't like running ads. You don't know how to, and that's fine, right? But reason number two is that they can't focus. And it's a thing that I want to talk about with you. If you're trying to scale your jewelry brand, a lot of the times I have seen that jewelry brand owners will say there are so many different ways we can get customers. We need to exhaust all of them. And in a perfect world, of course, exhaust every channel and every format in each channel. However, I think we have limited resources, and I think everyone can agree with that. We have limited resources, which is just time and money, right? Time, money, labor, right? And I think it's the best to use our limited resources in the thing that's going to give us the biggest difference. I have seen that that's Facebook ads after being a media buyer for 3 years. I have also done email marketing. The promise of email marketing is a very, very interesting one, because the promise is, dude, it's email. It's free. Number one, it's free. Number two, it has such a high conversion rate. It does have a high conversion rate. And you have these sort of insane product that, like, not only is free, but you can get all the customers from email. But it just jumps. It's free to click send, but it's not free to get an email list, right? To build an email list, it's not free. And obviously, it could be free, obviously, if you're building it from organic, but that takes an enormous amount of time, and not a lot of people have that, especially jewelry brands. There are very few jewelry brands that have organic, completely 100% organic, nothing paid email lists, and big ones that you can actually sell to, right? It's a broad customer base. Very few. I can count them in one hand. And the thing is that to build an email list, you have to run Facebook ads, or you have to buy an email list. Neither of them are free. So if you're a jewelry brand owner and you want to be able to advertise a ton, to be able to get a ton of customers, and you don't want to hire a million-man team to be able to advertise like Cartier or Tiffany, so all these huge brands that advertise an enormous amount on Facebook, then click the link in the description of this video, and I will help you 2x and 3x your jewelry sales within 90 days, or I will work with you personally one-on-one until you actually do.